Okay, let me begin. I've referred to this in the last couple of updates for June, but I'm going to cover it again because I do think it's a very important period in mid-July. In fact, what I'm really talking about spans the 6th to the 24th of July, but it's most exact from the kind of 14th, 15th, 16th, right in the middle of the month. And as some of you know, this is the conjunction between Mars, Uranus, and a fixed star called Algol. Now, Uranus has an 84-year cycle. It was last conjunct Algol in 1941, so a long time ago. Fixed stars only move a degree every 72 years, so it's pretty much in the same place for a lifetime. Uranus will remain conjunct Algol up until the end of October this year, and then again April, May next year, and then move on. However, the reason mid-July is so important is that Mars is joining that conjunction. Mars is the energizer, the initiator, the igniter of whatever that Uranus-Algol conjunction represents, and that will only happen in mid-July. Well, effectively it's operational from the 6th to the 24th, and actually Mars will also be at an important degree point, 21 degrees of Taurus, where we had the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction on the 20th of April. It will be re-energizing all that meant. And that's going to be on the 8th. So this whole mid-July period is very important. Now, I mentioned it previous couple of videos, but I'm going to expand on it again. This is linked to seismic activity, literal earthquakes, political earthquakes, financial earthquakes, particularly because it's in Taurus, linked to banking and currencies. It's an eruptive, explosive, combustible energy. It's like fireworks. It's like lighting the touch paper on something. It's very initiating. It could be internet cuts, power cuts, cyber attacks, that kind of thing. It could be more galactic news or galactic connections. Uranus is the sky god in myth, so it could be linked to aviation. Often there's, because it's a very sudden, unexpected energy. Uranus is always ruling the unexpected. It could be some aviation accident or issue. It could be linked to meteorites. It could be things coming from the out there, because Uranus in myth is the sky god. It's very electrical. It's electromagnetic. We could see more solar flares at this time, more destabilization in the ionosphere. It's all of that kind of firework energy. It's rebellious, it's revolutionary, it's the uppity energy. And if this is happening at 26 degrees of Taurus, you are likely to feel this as a restless, agitated, urgent energy, a need for freedom. I've got to kind of break the routine. I've got to break the rules. I've got to do something maverick. I've got to do something that's really me, that's really authentic. I never, as an astrologer, know the exact events. I never do. All I'm able to describe is the timing and the quality of the energy. And this is very distinct. And whatever is happening at this time is likely to kind of rumble on in our consciousness for some months. Algol, the fixed star, is connected to people in myth losing their heads. That can be people kind of going crazy about something, becoming very unstable. Uranus is very unstable energy, and it could be linked to leaders losing their power. And I think that is particularly likely at this time. And just to remind you again that this is conjunct the midheaven of Donald Trump's chart. The midheaven in an individual's chart is linked to their status or their reputation. This conjunction brings out some kind of radical shift or change or surprise to that. This conjunction is also opposing President Biden's sun, SUN in the 12th house. That's to do with illness, critical illness. And also, transiting Neptune is conjunct over the next couple of years the base, the IC of the US. That could be linked to flooding issues. I think many countries are going to experience that, but also because it's opposing the midheaven by definition, dissolution of the government in some way, the political structure. I believe it's just wider than any particular leader. As I've spoken about many times, I believe it's the dissolution of the political structure. Again, that's not short term, that's longer term. But in short, what I'm seeing is this big shift from centralization to decentralization. That will not happen quickly, won't happen in a day, a month, a year. It won't happen in terms of giving the power to the people on a plate. However, that is where the astrological zeitgeist is moving to. Shorter term, in the next few months, there will be increased attempts at centralization. And you will see that. And I want you to know that, because the astrology is highlighting that in terms of, oh my goodness, are we now going backwards again? That is not the case. We need to stand in our light and stand in our power and stand in our sovereignty. Because the astrological energy, the cosmological energy, the energy of the physics of our reality is moving towards decentralization and the power back to the people. At this full moon, which I'm going to be talking about in a moment, and at this Mars-Uranus Algol conjunction, we also have transiting Jupiter conjunct the Uranus in the US chart for 4th of July, 1776, 10 past 5 in the afternoon, Philadelphia, signing of the Declaration of Independence. Uranus in that chart could be particularly linked to shocks and surprises of information coming out, because Uranus rules the third house of the media and information. It could be indicating that the seismic activity will happen to a large extent in America. That's a possibility. I can never say where exactly, because Uranus, the planet of earthquakes, is also the planet of the unexpected and the unpredictable. So whatever you think it's going to be, it won't be that. Uranus will always rug pull.